Today, Justice Brett Kavanaugh heard his first oral arguments at the Supreme Court and was welcomed warmly by his colleagues. It was a nice moment of collegiality after weeks of chaos and the promise of even more. With only 4 weeks till the midterm elections, Republicans are exuding more confidence, while Democrats are banking on more chaos. Now, despite the catastrophic loss of the swing vote on the high court, they're hitting the anarchy accelerator. These people truly believe they can protest their way back into power, something the president warned of tonight.
The Democrats have become too extreme, and they've become, frankly, too dangerous to govern. They've gone wacko. But if Democrats take control, they will try to reverse our amazing progress and plunge our country into gridlock, frankly, into poverty, ultimately into chaos.
Now, the chaos strain has now even infected what was once the Democratic establishment. Like, why hasn't Dianne Feinstein, who was once considered a more sober-minded liberal, why hasn't she condemned the tactics of harassment and intimidation used against her female colleagues in the halls of the U.S. Senate? You know why? Because pro-women Dianne Feinstein wants to keep the atmosphere red hot, scarily so, to drive Democratic voter turnout. So just when you think they couldn't go lower, they do.
Trump has delivered for these people on the things that they care about most. He has delivered racism for these people. He has delivered misogyny for these people. And now he's delivered the Supreme Court for these people, which is something that they've been trying to get for a generation. They now have control over all 3 branches of government. We're going to see if this reign lasts for 30 days or 2 years or a 1,000-year Reich.
Reich. Nice. So if you're not on board with the moral dictates of liberalism, the left will demonize you as a Nazi, plant false stories against you, trash your family, try to destroy your life. And of course, they'll try to get you fired. And when you're President Trump or Justice Kavanaugh, I love saying that, if they can't beat you, they'll threaten to impeach you. Here's the original founding member of the Clinton War Room, James Carville.
To the Democrats, Kavanaugh is worth a lot more alive than dead. This is not going to go away. They're not going to stop doing stories on Kavanaugh. The Democrats win the House. They'll probably hold some kind of hearings on the fact that a lot of people think that he perjured himself during his confirmation hearings to the Court of Appeals.
Dead or alive? Oh, wait. I liked him better, by the way, when he put that garbage pail over his head back in 2002. Do you remember that after the losses in 2002? That was Carville's best moment. Now, how is any of this going to make Americans' lives better? What's the new platform? Vote for us, and we'll spend the next few years torturing anyone who is even remotely associated with Trump. Oh, please. Now, this thuggish win-at-all-cost approach was on full display during the Kavanaugh battle.
Senator McConnell, why do women have to bare their whole soul to you?
Don't you wave your hand at me. I wave my hand at you.
When you grow up, Robinson.
When I grow up, we grow up. How dare you talk to women that way? How dare you?
We believe survivors. We believe survivors.
Excuse me. Beto is way hotter than you do.
We believe survivors.
And it's fitting, isn't it, that the woman who was one of the architects of the politics of personal destruction, over with Carville, has no problem with any of that.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and/or the Senate, that's when civility can start again. But until then, the only thing that the Republicans seem to recognize and respect is strength.
This is so juvenile. It's like your kid, right? Well, I'll start behaving, Mommy, once I get that extra piece of candy. Okay. So unless the Democrats are in power, there can be no civility. Yet they are the agents of mayhem that we've endured for 2 years now. This is what they've been doing since election night. Hillary would rather see the country swallowed up by discord and anger than to admit that Trump's policies are actually bearing fruit. My friends, this is all about foisting a liberal construct on America. The tonality and the set of precepts basically about open borders, open markets, and maybe toss in gender fluidity for good measure. All of that has to be accepted or else. Now, what happened to the softer, kinder Hillary we heard from just 2 years ago?
We need to get better at finding ways to disagree on matters of policy while agreeing on questions of decency and civility. How we talk to each other, treat each other, respect each other.
Oh, wasn't that nice at the Al Smith dinner? Oh, so nice. Unless our campaign goes down in flames, in other words, and unless our opponent fulfills his promises, in which case we will scorch the earth, civility be damned. Hillary could not even let the moment pass for Brett Kavanaugh to have his ceremonial swearing in at the White House last night.
What was done last night in the White House was a political rally. It further undermined the image and integrity of the court. And that troubles me greatly. It saddens me because our judicial system has been viewed as one of the main pillars of our constitutional government.
In what way was this a political rally? I was actually there last night. Of course people were excited, just like when a Democrat president gets 2 justices or 1 justice. They're excited. It's a victory. You can't celebrate victories. It's only for Democrats. All of the Supreme Court justices were sitting in the front row, if you saw any of that last night, including the one, of course, appointed by your husband, Hillary. So it was a nonpartisan moment of unity and maybe a little bit of healing that Hillary refuses to acknowledge because, of course, she had no role in it. Now, this is at the heart of the Democrats' Antifa-like resistance. They are actually resentful that the country is moving ahead, growing, thriving, and reclaiming its power, also on the world stage, because they have no part in any of it. Because Trump was right, they were wrong, and they're ticked off about it. Liberal dogma and the giveaway policies of the past, that didn't get us here, to this moment of achievement, economic achievement, and otherwise. Lacking a governing agenda or any response to Trump's economic and global success, well, the Democrats have decided to run on just a platform of demonization. They're now even using the Kavanaugh vote to punish their own. Democrat Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia in a close re-election race and Tennessee Democrat senatorial candidate Phil Breslin are being lashed by the left for their respective votes and support of Kavanaugh. The liberal MoveOn.org and PAC Priorities USA announced that they are withholding monies from the campaign of both Democrats. Now, if they won't even tolerate a little bit of diversity of opinion among their own Democratic colleagues, imagine what they'll do to us if they regain power. And that's the angle.